What are the biggest like the most common kind of claims? Water.
Washing machine hoses, change them regularly. You need to look at them every couple of years,
right?
And just make sure they're doing okay.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the big, because a lot of people have the washer on the top level, and that washing machine hose gets old and cracks, and then you have a leak, and it goes down all 2-3 levels.
Right. And water, have a pan underneath, at least.
Exactly.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's gonna help to a point. But really, the hose itself is making sure those connections are good. Cleaning out the dryer vent, the dryer hose.
Right.
Take it off every once in a while and clean it out.
Okay.
Those are big things that people can do to prevent fires.
Wow.
Because that all that lint that gets into the hose, and then it'll clog up the hose, and then you end up with the heat.
Right. Not a good combination.
Heat and a fire starter,
right.
Essentially. So they're really just those. That's the biggest one we see is water.
Yeah.
We see a lot of refrigerator hoses.
Oh, yeah.
Same kind of thing. Making sure those connections are good, making sure that the plastic hosing is still good.
Right.
Because those will, corrode and crack over time, and then they crack, and then you've got a leak.
Yeah.
And that, again, usually goes down more than one floor.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, if they have, like, for example, hardwood flooring out throughout the main level, and now you've got the hardwood in the kitchen that's damaged, it's not just the kitchen that gets fixed, it's the whole level that has to be addressed.
Right.
Because there's oftentimes not break points.
Right.
Where they can say, okay, we're only replacing this. So those are probably the biggest ones.
Wow. Any crazy stories that you can say, like a crazy thing that's happened? I always love these.
I had more crazy stories when I was a claim representative.
Yeah.
We would see some just really bizarre things come through. But nothing lately. Luckily, my clients have been pretty good.
Well,
it's good coaching.
Any crazy, just from like your whole thing, like just something that was so bizarre?
That was 20 years ago.
I can't remember. Just lessons learned, or
I've seen things like we had a total loss fire, and since I've been here, we had a total loss fire out in Ashburn, and guy was smoking. Went out on his deck, didn't smoke in his house, which is great, but went out on his deck and then put the cigarette out in a planter next to his house. And it went up the vinyl siding and so it was in between the walls, and went all the way up into the ceiling, and then wrapped, like it hit the attic and just wrapped around the whole house.
Is everybody okay?
Everybody was fine.
Oh my gosh,
the house had to be gutted to get all the smoke smell and stuff like that. So, and it's people don't sometimes just think about those kinds of things.
Right.
And the damage they can cause. See a lot of cigarette lights. We had a rental property that tenant went out on the deck, smoked a cigarette, flicked it off into the yard, wind blew it up under the deck, caught the deck and the whole side of the house on fire.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, things like that. But as far as bizarre stuff, they're all really unfortunate circumstances because it's somebody's property and their home and all their stuff, and so most of them are just really unfortunate circumstances.
Yeah.
Not really, really bizarre things that happen.
Well, I remember I don't know if it was middle school or something, or reading like people's responses to why they had a car accident. It was like a mosquito flew in, and
I think the way claims are reported is probably the more. I pulled into my driveway. There was a tree there that wasn't there before because they pulled into the wrong driveway.
Oh, really?
It's like, no, the tree's always been there. You're just in the wrong place. So that the reporting probably is what was more humorous, if there's any humor in that at all.
Right.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah, we've had a lot of bees getting cars and people spotting bees and things like that that cause accidents. But the people that pull into their own driveways and forget that the other car's in the garage and just pull right in, kind of thing. That those types of things have happened.
Yeah.
A few arms on the metro are going through the toll road things. The arms coming down on cars, stuff like that. Yeah, we've had a few of those too.
Oh my god. That's so funny. And I'm sure your job is much like mine, where people are calling you in distress, and their lives are changing because of bad things. So I think it probably takes a special person to be answering those calls.
I think both for me and for the team that I work with, they most of the time. A lot of times people just call them because they're buying a house.
Right.
They need to get a policy in place. But when the time comes for us to answer the call and be there like we said we would, that's when people are in distress, and that's when you really have to be helpful and be patient and understanding. And that's, I think, for me, that's one of the reasons why I went this route instead of being a PE teacher, is I did see it as an opportunity to not be in the gym and to be able to help people.
Right.
At a time, my personality is I want to fix things.
Right.
I want to make things better. And it's a good opportunity to be able to do that for people.
Yeah.